Evaluate 9 plus 2 times 3 over 3. So really they're just asking you to kind of look at the order of operations, which I'm sure you guys remember is BEDMAS. And the division multiplication comes before, so we will do this guy first. So it'll be 9 plus 6. And then the rest is sort of just straightforward, 15 over 3. And that, of course, is 5. So t would be the answer to the previous question, which is 5. What is the area of a triangle with base 2t and height 3t minus 1? So the area of any triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the base they're saying is 2t, and the height they're saying is 3t minus 1. And t is 5. So that means this is 10, and this would be 14. Yeah. So then that would be 70 as the area. T is the answer to the previous question, which was 70. In the diagram, ABC is isosceles, AB is equal to BC, and angle BAC is t degrees. What is the measure of angle ABC in degrees? If AB is equal to BC, then that means this angle is the same as that angle. And they've actually said that BAC is t, so that means that's t. And therefore, angle ABC, this guy, angle ABC, plus t is equal to 180 because the sum of the angles of a triangle add up to 180. Well, t is 70, so that means that angle ABC is 180 minus 2t, which would be 140, right? So that means angle ABC is 40 degrees. If w is a positive integer with w squared minus 5w is 0, what is the value of w? W squared minus 5w is 0. Factor out the w, and we get w minus 5. So that means either w is 0 or 5. Now they're saying it's a positive integer, and between those two, the only one that's positive is 5, so w is equal to 5. T is 5, the answer to the previous question. In the diagram, the larger square has side length 2t minus 4, and the smaller square has side length 4. What is the area of the shaded region? So you take the area of the larger square, which is 2t minus 4 all squared, and subtract from it the area of the square on the inside, which is 4 squared. And that would be the area of the shaded region. So area of shaded region, ASR, or whatever you want to call it. And that's it. So we know t is 5, so this is going to be 10 minus 4 squared minus 16. 10 minus 4, I believe, is 6. 6 squared is 36. And therefore that's 20. So 20 is the area of the shaded region. T is 20. Answer to the previous question. Consider the 3-digit positive integers of the form x, y, 0, where x and y are digits with x not equal to 0. How many of these integers are divisible by both 11 and t? Well, x, y, and 0, let's put a line there to show that it's 0, not O. Not that it really matters. But if this number is divisible by 11 and by t, well, t is 20. That means it's divisible by 11 times 20, which is 220, right? Yeah. So a number is divisible by 220, so what could it be? It could be 220, it could be 440, it could be 660, it could be 880, and it could be others, but our number is a 3-digit number. So these are the only 3-digit numbers of that form that are divisible by both 11 and 20. And how many? So I guess the answer to this question is 4. When the integer 300 to the power of 8 is written out, it has d digits. What is the value of d? 300 to the power of 8. Well, I'm going to break this up into 3 times 100. And then when I do this, it'll be 3 to the power of 8 times... Actually, I'm going to break it up further. 3 times 10 squared to the power of 8. I think that'll be more helpful. So there'll be 3 to the power of 8, and then 10 squared, you'd have to multiply it, right? So it'll be 10 to the 16. Okay, so 3 to the power of 8 is 6561. That takes care of this guy. And this is just going to be a whole bunch of zeros. And I believe it'll be 16 zeros. 10 to the power of 16. So that means the entire number is 1, 2, 3, 4 plus those 16 digits. So the entire number is 20 digits. t is 20. The area of the triangle formed by the line root kx plus 4y is 10, and the x-axis and y-axis is t. What is the value of k? Let's attempt to draw this. So we've got x and y. So the line is made up of the x-axis, the y-axis, and this guy. So let's find its x and y coordinates. Sorry, x and y intercepts is what I should say. Okay, when y is 0, the root is just over the k, right? Yeah, because that's important. When y is 0, that means you just have this. So that means x is equal to 10 over root k. So that means that somewhere, I have no idea where, but let's just put it there. So that's the one intercept. The other intercept you get by setting x equal to 0, and that reduces it to 4y is 10, so y is 2.5. So let's just put that here, 2.5. So that means that basically that's the situation, and we want the area of this triangle. Okay, not a problem. The area of that triangle is 1/2 base times height. Base is from here to here, which is 10 over root k, and the height is from here to here, which is 2.5. And oh, the area of the triangle is t. I almost forgot. I didn't even see that. Maybe I did. I forgot about it. So let's get rid of that a and put it in the t. And the t is 20. Okay, so let's get rid of that t and put in 20. Okay, I got it. So then that means we only have one variable. Okay, shouldn't be that big of a deal to solve for that. Okay, so let's see here. This is going to be 40 divided by 10 is equal to 2.5 over root k. So what's that? 4. And what's 2.5? 4 root k. 2.5 is a 5 over 2, right? So, so root k is what? 5 over 8. So if I square both sides, I'll get k equal to 25 over 64. Yeah, 225 over 64. So let me just put that in. T is 25 over 64. All right. Justin measures the heights of 3 different trees: maple, pine, and spruce. The maple tree is 1 meter taller than the pine tree. Pine tree is 4 meters shorter than the spruce tree. If the ratio of the height of the maple tree to the spruce tree is t, what is the height of the spruce tree in meters? Maple, pine, spruce. So entirely based on what they told me, m is equal to p plus 1. And p is equal to s minus 4. And the ratio m over s is equal to t, and t is this guy. So 25 over 64. Okay, so that's the setup. And what are they asking us to find? They want us to find basically s. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. Let's see, where would I go with this? I'm trying to think. Maybe I can just, m minus 1 is p. And since p equals m minus 1 and p equals s minus 4, we can set that equal to each other. And then there we go. We've got this equation and this equation, and then we got 2 equations, 2 variables, and we can solve. So that's pretty easy. Let me isolate for m here. So it'll be 25s over 64. And then let's plug that into here. So 25s over 64 minus 1 is s minus 4. And therefore 25 over 64 s, add 1 to both sides, 3. Let's see here, put the 3 over there, so it'll be s minus 25 over 64 s. And then that would be 39s over 64. And that means it'd be 3 times 64 over 39 is s. And then in lowest terms, 64 over 13, I believe. 64 over 13. Yeah, I think that, well, 13 is a prime, so yeah, that's in lowest terms. So there you go. That's the answer. Suppose that x is equal to the square root of that whole thing. All right, again, they're just testing out BEDMAS. So we got to do the division and multiplication first, and the only one in there is that one. So 20 minus 17 minus 0 minus 1 plus 17. And then inside the under the square root sign is what I should say, is a 9. And therefore the square root of 9 is 3. T is 3. If the graph of y is equal to 2 times the square root of 2t times root x minus 2t passes through the point A, what is the value of A? Well, first of all, the square root goes all the way over the 2t. That's important because there's a difference between this and this. You see what I'm saying? Those are not equal. So you got to make sure. And sometimes you have to really, the text is so small, sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, so it passes through point AA, so that means we can substitute that in. And root 2 times 3, because t is 3, root A minus 2 times 3. Right? Okay, so that means that this is A is 2 times root 6, root A minus 6. And what do I do now? I guess to just bring it over, A plus 6 is 2 root 6 root A. And then I'll square both sides. And that will allow me to get rid of the radicals. So there'll be A squared plus 12A plus 36. And then this would be 4 times 6 times A. So that's 24A. And then if we brought it over, it would be A squared minus 12A plus 36 is 0. And I think this factors really nicely. So it'll be A, 6, and 6, negative, negative. So A is equal to 6. T is 6. Suppose that 1 over 2 to the power of 12 plus 1 over 2 to the power of 11, dot, 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 all the way to 1 over 2 to the power of t is equal to n over 2 to the power of 12. What is the value of n? 1 over 2 to the power of 12 plus 1 over 2 to the power of 11 plus 1 over 2 to the power of 10 plus dot, 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 all the way to 1 over 2 to the t plus 1. Well, t is 6, so that would be 1 over 2 to the 7 plus 1 over 2 to the 6. And they're saying that is equal to n over 2 to the power of 12. Okay, so like obviously we got to add this fraction here. So n over 2 to the power of 12, that part doesn't change. So the common denominator, 2 to the power of 12. So this is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 2 to the power of 2. Since there's not that many, right? There's only 7 terms. Yeah, so I'll just write them all out. So 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, plus 2 to the power of 6. Yeah. Okay, so the 2 to the power of 12s are on both sides. We just get rid of that. Just put the n. So this is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64. And when you add up all those guys, n would be, I believe, 127.